It's time for another deals video, and I'm loving today's selection. It's a whole lot of games I've not seen in a while, or at least ones we haven't had a chance to feature all that often. My name's Alex, this is SwitchCorner, and I have 15 games for you all today covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. I also have 2 winners to announce later in the video for 2 $10 eShop gift cards, and I do have 2 more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and those winners they'll be announced in next Saturday's video. We're starting with Dragon Quest Treasures. Now it's back matching the low with 40% off. I did a preview of this game, find that in the pinned comments. This is an action RPG where we play as a young Eric and Amir on hunts to increase our wealth with treasure. Now why are we doing this? Well, opening the game, we're actually living on a Viking longship. On this journey, we encounter 2 otherworldly creatures, and they whisk us away to a mysterious place known as Draconia. We've dreamed of this adventure, but now we must prove we are up to the task. I do get burnout on the formula, honestly, but the combat is generally fun, as is the exploration, and seeing our pot of gold increase in size is definitely, rewarding. We even recruit monsters to assist us in battle, and we can send them out solo as well, so there's also this dash of strategy packed in as well. If you do enjoy the video today, consider subscribing, it helps the channel a huge amount. We are quickly approaching 55,000 subscribers, which is crazy to me, but I really do appreciate the support, and with your help we can be one step closer. Additionally, check out PlayStationCorner if you haven't already, I'll link it in the pinned comment. We do a similar thing over there, just had a deals video go live, and we do have a few reviews in the works. What the Golf is here with 35% off. Now we've seen this a few bucks cheaper historically, but I wanted to mention it today as we've not seen this on sale since 2022, and it just received a free update which is going to be a collaboration with Among Us. It adds an additional 35 levels. I'm about to in fact jump in and check it out myself. It is a fantastic game as well, and I'll add here, a love of golf is not required. This is a physics-based comedy game where it will surprise you from hitting golf balls of course, but instead you may be hitting cars, hitting the person, or just avoiding massive obstacles. Watch my full review. This game is a blast and it should get a smile on anyone's face. Tormented Souls will be for the horror fans at launch. This game was broken, hard crashes and a lack of autosave, thanks to of course its retro influences, made it incredibly frustrating, but that issue has since been patched. Now it still has some minor performance issues, but I think most fans of old school Resident Evil will seriously appreciate this. Expect here static cameras, somewhat clunky controls, and just a great retro spin on its visuals. I also really like the minimal story. You receive a mysterious letter with a photo. It's of 2 girls in front of, I guess, a location, and now you can't get that image out of your head. Maybe stupidly you decide to go and investigate, and the next thing you know, you awake in a bathtub naked and now missing an eye. Go figure out what is happening. 40% off is a new low price, and you can find my 50 horror games on the Switch video in the comments down below where this was featured. Fashion Police Squad gets 25% off, that matches the low price, but this game is still relatively new. It's a first-person shooter with a unique spin. Now in this world, think everybody's ultra stylish, but there's crimes being committed against fashion, and you must now get to the bottom of who's behind it. Think socks with sandals or baggy suits. What I really enjoyed was different situations call for different guns, such as one that fires goblins that steal the socks, or a stitching gun for those with the baggy suits. We even have a couple of super moves, a glove that slaps people back into shape, and a belt that leads to a fun grappling mechanic. It is well worth it. My review is in the pinned comments, and also find my 30 first-person shooter video there as well, as this was featured. Doraemon Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom gets 40% off. That's a new low price. Now this is going to be a good choice for those that want a farm sim adventure. Don't really know a huge amount about the character if I'm being honest, but I played both games. This is the follow-up, and as expected, it's not a massive leap forward, but it adds in some nice new mechanics. You also can't deny the visual design here. The watercolors, absolutely stunning. The story then is that we are transported to an alien world, and we get a slew of gadgets to leverage. We're helping an individual rebuild their farm. I featured this recently in a 30 must-buy anime games on the Switch, so I have pinned that down below. Our first winner of the video then, that is Wanatopia, who commented always rolling with the hits. Congrats on the win. Drop me an email to claim your code, and the second winner is coming up shortly in the video. Also on that anime list is My Hero 1's Justice 2, and today I'm going to be highlighting the Deluxe edition. It gets a massive 82% off, that is a new low price. Now this is an arena brawler. It's also a direct continuation of the first game following the narrative of the anime. I do think though this is the much better game. It's got an increased roster and of course they fine-tuned the mechanics. The anime itself is on my list of shows I want to watch, but having played the original, I had no issues following the story here, and I do know a couple of fans who were extremely happy with it. I just enjoy this genre because it's simple to pick up and play, and you can break out some seriously impressive attacks with very little practice. The Deluxe edition then it adds in 5 more playable characters. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is back, matching the low with 30% off. Now this is an action RPG prequel to Final Fantasy VII. This remaster, in my opinion, got a whole lot of things right. First, looks and runs great on the system. Then it's just a blast. Think action adventure hack and slash in the Final Fantasy universe. In the story, we are investigating the mass disappearance of soldier operatives alongside the likes of Sephiroth, and on top of this, I think it looks stunning thanks to the remaster. They also then tweaked the battle systems. It's fully voiced in English and Japanese. There's new soundtrack arrangements, and issues-wise, when you do jump into missions, they do show their age, honestly, as they are extremely linear. But I didn't have an issue with that. Just get me to the epic battles. It's 30% off, matching the low price. Paranormasight of the 7 Mysteries of Honjo gets 20% off, that matches the low price. Now for adventure and visual novel fans, this comes highly recommended. It's a horror experience, but it gets incredibly creative with its mechanics at times, which of course I will not be spoiling. Now in the story, we are on this adventure to uncover the truth behind different curses, and we'll meet a cast of characters along the way whose fate often lies in our hands. Basically, will they live or die? It's also generally more gameplay rich than most visual novels. We choose locations, we choose how we act, who we talk to, what we say. We even face several puzzles. I wish it had voice acting, but it's still high quality stuff, and I love seeing releases like this come from Square Enix. Bustafellows is 65% off and new at low price. Not a game I've played, I won't be playing it, but it seemed like a great discount, so I wanted to give it a quick mention. Now this is an otome visual novel held in high regard, and you'll be playing as a female protagonist who can leap through time. You are some sort of journalist solving cases. Now there are several male characters to romance as well, and if you didn't know, it's kind of sort of the point of this genre, targeted at a female audience. It's adventure mixed with romance, since I'm not the targeted audience. White Day, a Labyrinth-named school, gets a new low price here with 33% off, and this one impressed me for the most part. Now, I will admit at times can be a little over-reliant on the same jump scares that do get old quickly, but an empty school is always going to be this creepy location, and here you're going to be fending off demons, ghosts, and a pair of particularly nasty janitors. Now, it's first person, it's a game of basically running and not fighting back. I really enjoyed the story, though. White Day here is Valentine's Day, if you didn't know. So we went back to leave a card in someone's locker. Now we are trapped with all sorts of weirdness occurring around us. Now this is a remaster, and back when it first launched, it was considered one of the scariest games out there. By today's standards, I'd consider it pretty tame, honestly. I'm a wimp myself, and I handled it easily. OPUS Starsong Full Bloom Edition is back, matching the low with 30% off. Now this is a narrative-focused adventure game that offers around 15 hours of gameplay. I would say it primarily falls into the visual novel genre, but its incredible writing just kept me locked in throughout. The story follows 2 protagonists, an exile and a witch, as they embark on a journey for treasure after a war. This quickly evolves, of course, into a journey of self-discovery, and you can expect a whole host of choices, a map to explore, and some fantastic light-based puzzles. The audio and the visual work as well, absolutely stunning. Our second winner then is Ernesto, who didn't find anything to add to the library in last week's video, but maybe this one will serve you a little better. Congrats on the win, drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition, gets 40% off. That is a new at low price, and transparently, I never did finish this release of the game. I don't think this is a great port. It's got performance issues throughout, or at least that was the case last time I played it. That said though, look, I do think it's at a much better price point here now, so if you do want to jump in, it might be a good time. It's a remaster, of course, of Chrono Cross. That wasn't obvious already, but they upgraded the 3D models, they added new illustrations, and they included a few new features, even a novel called Radical Dreamers, which actually prefaced the game. I don't think the remaster work is particularly strong, honestly, as I said, and upgraded is definitely a strong word in this one's case, but look, the game itself, we all know it's a classic, so maybe play the original if you have the option. If not, maybe come here. Mato Anomalies is another one I played relatively recently. Honestly, it is far from perfect. The world is small, I found some of the locations to be repetitive, it has a few performance issues here and there, and it just overall, it feels budget. However, I still walked away enjoying it personally, but do look into it a little bit more beforehand before you do part with that cash. I know SwitchUp did a comprehensive review, so maybe take a look at that one. I was really enjoying that video. On the positive side of things, though, it clearly took influence from Persona, for sure, not a bad thing. It's a unique idea as well here. Expect turn-based combat as you jump between these two worlds. One of them is going to be as a detective in the real world, the other as a ninja of sorts in a digital world. You're going to be investigating a series of murders. I like the world enough to say I hope we see more of it because it definitely shows huge potential. 50% off then is a new low price. It's also on sale on PlayStation. Just featured it on the channel as well. If you want the hardware boost, maybe take a look there. Bramble, the Mountain King, gets 20% off. This is a new low price, but full of transparency, this is actually my personal pickup of the week, meaning it is not a recommendation. Maybe you'll want to join me for that ride. Now, I keep hearing great things about this game, so I do want to check it out. I understand it's an adventure game and you are on a journey to rescue your sister after a troll kidnaps her. I believe it's got some horror elements to it all, and I'm kind of hoping for, unsettling, I guess, would be the right word here. Something along the lines of maybe little nightmares or even an inside. If you have played it, let me know in the comments if I'm on the mark here, and if you do, recommend it. Digimon Survive to close out the week then, and this one's unique. At launch, I think many were disappointed by the gameplay elements, as it's part strategy, part visual novel. I really enjoyed it personally, even with the notable performance issues as well. In battle, the frame rate can be a little less than stable at times, but I just loved the risks they took. Also, the adult storyline where you are transported to a mysterious world. Now you are trying to survive, hence the name, and get yourself home. Just great fun as well to persuade these Digimon to join your team. I'd suggest checking out a full review where you can watch my top 30 must-buy anime games, linked below again for more details. 40% off, that is a new low price. And that is the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library? Let me know in the comments. With that, a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who go above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.